We have our jogger, a base jogger, and now we are going to add the pockets. I'm just going to use the rectangle tool and just create two rectangles. First one on the upper part, and I'm just going to adjust the size if I need to, make it maybe a little smaller. Yes, I think this is about right. As you can see, I am mirroring everything on the other side as well. And I'm going to create a second rectangle. This is going to have a zipper, so I'm just prepping the placement. Okay, I have these, and now I'm going to offset as internal line, clicking right. I'm going to put 30 millimeters the distance, and I'm going to offset that line, and then selecting these segments, I'm going to trace as pattern. Now I have traced the pattern, and back to the rectangle, I'm going to create another rectangle that has the same height as the rectangle I have right here on the screen. And also the width is going to be maybe like 20 millimeters. So the pocket is three-dimensional. I wanted to make it outside of the jogger, if it makes sense. So as you see, I have all these pieces created, all these three rectangles created, and now I'm going to start sewing them to the internal lines I have on the jogger. I'm going to stitch them one by one to the internal lines and then sew the upper part to the bigger rectangle. This way we're going to make this pocket three-dimensional and realistic as well. After I'm done with all the sewing, I'm going to make sure to simulate. So one important part is that I will be putting the particle distance to 5, and also you can just select all the items of the pocket, all the rectangles, and put them on strengthen. That's why my pocket is yellow right here. And I'm going to select a different fabric too. So as you can see, I just selected leather. It gives more stability and roughness, and it gives a structural element to the pocket as well. Now I'm going to create the flap. So I'm just going to copy the big rectangle and just kind of divide it in half. And then I'm going to split the lines here, the bottom ones, because what I'm going to shape the bottom part of the flap. So adding points or splitting the segment. As you can see, I'm going to do the same thing on the right part as well. And voila. Now, as you can see, the pocket has this element, design element. It's kind of this raised effect on the pocket. And I'm going to recreate it in 3D as well. So I have these two internal lines kind of in the middle. We can offset as internal line to create a new one right next to each other. We want to actually recreate the fold. Okay, let's select these segments and trace as internal line. Trace pattern, I mean. We're going to choose the fold tool here and sew the small piece created to the pocket, as you can see. So I'm using the fold line. You can fold right on the internal line, and then we will be stitching the sides and the bottom to the front pocket. Okay, once I am actually completed, I'm done with this part. I am going to go to the top part and unfreeze it. Maybe even make it a little wider on the top and just place it on top and see how it looks like. I'm going to sew the top pocket to my internal line that I created at the beginning. And as you can see, it always helps when I put patterns on strengthen. Also, you have to layer the flap to one just so it falls on top of the pocket we created. Also, if you're not happy with where the placement is, you have to select all the internal lines and the pocket you created, and actually you can move it down or up. This is what I did. And this is how my pocket looks like. As you can see, I did the same thing on the other side as well. And now I am going to move on to the bottom pocket, which has a zipper added, as you can see on my reference image. So we will do the same thing, trace the pattern, and then added a line, or you can just offset as internal line. And then here, so this is where the zipper will be. So I just want to make sure that I change the length so it's smaller than the width of the pocket, like this. Okay, and I create a rectangle, I offset it, and then this was a little bit different here. You can either create the rectangles and stitch them together, or offset pattern outline, and you can create this more quickly than before. And now with the new lines created, I'm just going to use the fold tool again, and this will help me create the three-dimensional aspect of it, and I think maybe it's just a little easier than the first method I showed you. I just want you guys to know everything, so that's why I'm developing things different ways. Okay, let's sew and move on and move the particle distance to 5. Okay, so this is our pocket. And now the rectangle part, we are going to trace it as pattern, use the same fabric as the pocket, offset in the middle to create this 2 rectangles, and cut and sew. And now we are going to use the zipper tool. Okay, I'm going to move the teeth, the total width, to a lower amount from 9 to 5. I think this looks a little better. Okay, we're gonna do the same for the other side. And the gauge, maybe we'll just decrease it to 90. Okay, let's change the tape to black. And then we're going to use a zipper pull. I think this is good. and then fabric type to metal to make it look like metal as well. And I think this is pretty nice here. Okay, you can increase the metalness here, play it with the roughness intensity. And I'm going to do the same for the other side. So this is basically the pocket with a zipper. This is the jogger we created with pockets. Let me know if you have any questions.